y'all doing this evening? Well, this afternoon, actually. This is SolSista Therapy, Childhood Trauma Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Plump Queen.
Hey y'all, I'm Taquita.
There you go.
These guys, I'm Misha, Queen Misha.
All right, we're going to get that together a little better next time.
Look, no taking. We need to actually put that out and plan
it. Well, we appreciate you guys giving us your time and your energy today. I'm going to put out my disclaimer. This is going to be a deep one. Everything I say, everything I feel, I promise you is with love. I'm just going to say that. But I appreciate y'all being here, and I'm going to see how Miss Taquita and Queen Misha going to feel about it because, I haven't really discussed this with y'all. So I'm going to give y'all a little bit of background and see how, you ladies feel about it. But it's all about healing. All right. So yesterday I woke up and I was scrolling through Facebook and I saw somebody state, I can't do verbatim what they said, but they pretty much were saying that addiction needs to be added to the mental illness list. And I completely disagreed. I personally feel like, and I had made a quote about it, I pretty much said that we really need to stop labeling everything as a mental illness because this is why there's not much healing going on, but a whole lot of pills being passed around. And I feel like that is something that needs to be really addressed. And I know this is going to make, a lot of people, like I said, feel some type of way, but we have to start, unraveling these things, unpacking as the sisters from a podcast that I was on the other day. Y'all should definitely follow them. They are the Naturally Unbothered podcast. They also talk about, subjects of this matter, 3 sisters just like us, you know what I'm saying? Using their life experiences to help other people, heal from their, their traumas and things of that nature. So it was a really dope experience. But it was talking about unpacking this stuff. So we got to start with the root. We've been glazing over it, but we really need to get to, the root of it. So I personally feel that there are actual mental illnesses. I'm not going to say that there aren't, but most of the things that we talk about, I don't think are mental illnesses. I feel like they are tapped into traumas, untouched traumas, unhealed traumas, undealt with traumas. And that just is a cycle, it's kind of a domino effect of everything else. See what I'm saying? So I do not believe that addiction is, a mental illness.
No, addiction is simply someone using a substance to suppress their emotions and numb themselves so they don't have to feel and deal with what they're feeling. It's just a way to take the emotions away.
Exactly. So that would mean that you need to deal with the reason on why you got addicted to something in the first place. It makes you feel good. Right. You're trying to continue. That's what anybody that gets addicted to drugs, is it's that feeling. It gives you a certain type of feeling. So you want to continue to have that feeling. So the only way to get rid of the addiction would be to deal with the thing that got, that you're trying to run away from. What's making you sad? What's making you not feel good? And that is, propelling you to want to always have this consistent, feel good. And it deals with your traumas. Like we talk about here, our childhood traumas, dealing with those things. On the podcast, we were talking about sexual traumas as you were talking about, Misha. So I feel like we need to deal with those things. Address those people that did those things to us. There are different ways, to deal with that. But deal with that. If we don't get to the problem, because everybody's trying to glaze over or blame it on something. Let's get to the root.
Right. It's stuck in that victimized mentality rather than saying, okay, this is a part of my journey. Why am I feeling this way? Okay, I'm feeling this way because this thing happened to me. Okay, now these emotions that I'm feeling, why am I feeling these emotions? You're feeling these emotions because of,
Suppressed.
I don't really know how to explain that, but yeah,
I'm saying.
the emotions just come because people handle different situations with different emotions depending on who you are. So for me, I was getting told I was the happiest child in elementary school while being molested and then being raised in a domestic violence home. But at school, I handled those emotions by putting a mask on, and that mask just so happened to be a really happy mask. And so my emotion was happiness, and that was how I dealt with my trauma. So I can't say that you're going to have this specific emotion with this specific trauma, but what I can say is that those emotions, you're meant to feel them and understand them because those are you. And then after that, you're supposed to release them. So how can I release these emotions without suppressing them? Because numbing and releasing are two different things. So drugs, alcohol, addiction, sex, these are quick releases, but they don't actually release. They just simply suppress them, push them down deeper. And so I think that it's really important that when people are talking about addiction, yes, like you said, that they really go to kind of the core of it and get to understanding themselves, because through healing you find yourself. You learn so much about yourself. And you can't do that when you suppress it and stuff. But to chalk it off as just an illness, a mental illness, is kind of feeding into the system. What I feel. That keeps all of these medications going. That keeps all of these phony ass doctors and psychologists. Not that all psychologists are phony, because I do believe a lot of people enter the medical field with pure intention because they want to heal people. But for the ones who are there for the money, they don't really care what your family story is or what traumas you went through. They just care that you're bipolar, so now you can get on all the medications for that. Or you're schizophrenic, so now they can put you in the rehab and bill a rehab for that. It's all part of the matrix.
Exactly. So I did a little Googling. So I looked up what trauma is, and then they said there are three different types of traumas. So, nope, wrong one. Yeah. Trauma, a deeply distressing or disturbing experience. That's what trauma is. So, when you talk about, I gave an example of something that happened to me that was traumatic. Okay. So, like I said, it was distressing. But at the same time, I actually got a good result out of it. My aunt, she did this thing called the butt test when we were children. She did it to me, her kids every day, so I wasn't picked on, what I'm saying, or singled out. And it was pretty much her way to make sure that we cleaned ourselves properly. Because our family, if we're nothing else, all traumas and issues, we clean. So she would take her finger, swipe her finger through our butts and smell it to see if if we clean between there, good enough. And if we didn't, she would tease us and pretty much embarrass us in front of everybody that's in the house. So my other cousins and maybe another aunt of mine, not other people, outside of the family, but within my, my group of cousins. So she would tease, ew, you stink, get back in there, you lazy, this is that and the third. And she had even so far as compared me to my mom, saying that my mom had the same issue when she was younger. You know what I'm saying? So she gonna make sure, that she rectifies that. Now, that was traumatic. You're teasing me. That was actually a bit almost like can be technically verbal abusive for you to tease me, you know what I'm saying, and in front of everybody and have my cousins laughing at me, you know what I'm saying, because I didn't clean myself properly as a child, learning how to do that, taking a shower on my own. You know what I'm saying? But the result of that, I became a very clean person. I remember when I first started, thinking about boys and, doing the do or whatever, she would always come to my mind. That's why it's traumatic. If you know what I'm saying, that happened to me when I was a little kid. So me 14 now, my aunt, I can see it. You know what I'm saying? I can see, the whole scene, me in her kitchen, because her bathroom was right next to her kitchen. So I can see myself, see her saying those things, see my cousins laughing and all that other stuff. So I kept it in my mind that I got to make sure I'm clean. I got to give myself the butt test. I got to make sure that when I'm, when I'm with a guy that I'm on point. Now, I personally, from my perspective, that's not a bad thing. I felt like that was beneficial to me, but the way she went about it was very traumatic. I don't have a mental, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't have a mental illness about cleaning. I'm not, you know what I'm saying, OCD, you know what I'm saying, because of that situation, but it was still traumatic. So there's a lot of things that are traumatic to you, but it doesn't necessarily mean, now that you have this illness. Yes, your mind needs a way to process that, and maybe emotionally, you know what I'm saying, it's doing something to you, but you can work through that. When you say mental illness, to me, that sounds like something that you really can't change. Like, my dad is a borderline schizophrenic. Like, this is kind of close to me. Like, my whole father's side of my family has mental issues. I have an aunt who's been, I'm 30, I'll be 37 next month. I have an aunt who was in an insane asylum longer than I've been alive. As a matter of fact, she's missing right now, from my understanding. I have another aunt who killed herself, from what I heard. One Sunday morning, you know what I'm saying, after church, she was just looking around at everybody and told everybody bye and walked out and walked out the window. My grandfather, my father's father, you know what I'm saying, was known to have mental issues. You know what I'm saying?
So that's where you have to go to the spiritual realm. Is it mental issues, or is these just entities and demons in the spiritual realm attacking our families that we can't see? So we see it as just the person in the physical body and what they're doing, but we don't actually see in the spiritual realm what they're dealing with, what demons they're fighting with, because that's what I see a lot of mental illness is that these are family members who are under spiritual attack by different demons and entities, family curses, and because we can't see these entities because they're on a different vibration and frequency in a different realm than us, then we just chalk it off as this person being crazy, but they have real life demons messing with them at night, or attacking their psyche. Because I really feel like that's what a lot of it is with a lot of indigenous families, especially, is that we have demons and these entities attacking our families, trying to keep us asleep and, keep us a part of the system rather than, us having our peace of mind and being able to ascend like we need to.
Now, that's interesting you said that. My father's side of the family is indigenous. I have a lot of indigenous, relatives on that side. So I didn't even think of it. I wasn't even thinking about, that part of it, because that is true as well. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole another level. You know what I'm saying? That people don't consider because of everyone's difference in spirituality. So you can't really tell a Christian that, or or even someone, a Muslim. You really can't tell somebody religious and they're
But
going
Christians
to
believe in angels and demons.
They do. They do. They also
demons out here doing. They really think the demons is just
and
in hell partying.
But it's funny how they say things like that. When someone does something bad, they pretty much say the devil's in you. So they believe it, but in their own way.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They don't see it as they're just entities and different types of negative energies, you know what I'm saying, because you have a calling. Even though they do believe that. They say that, God's, best warriors are always fighting them. My uncle says that all the time. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. My aunts have even said, no, my grandmother's even said the reason why my family is going through the things that they've gone through, because we are a spiritual family, and this is the devil, fighting us and stopping us from being what we're supposed to be. Well, I'm low-key saying the same thing, but just in, in a different way. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely something to consider that most people don't. But even besides that, when it comes down to, I feel like most things start with your emotions and how you perceive things. I feel like those are the things that really consider for you in your life what's traumatic, what's a mental break, because a lot of things happen to certain people and they take it differently. Like someone in my situation, you know what I mean, could have gotten a mental issue, or you know what I'm saying, or taken this, you know, harshly, and it did something to mentally. Whereas for me, you know, I was good mentally. You know, I'm good. You know, I got on, especially with having a whole bloodline of family members that have mental issues. You know what I'm saying? So had you did the correlate, or you know what I'm saying, I guess try to do statistics on me, I should have, you know, I should be crazy right now. My father is a borderline schizophrenic. I got, you know what I'm saying? I have the next generation before me has several mental issues. See what I'm saying? Now that's my blood. That's it, you know what I'm saying? That's still the other half of me. But yet,
and that's another.
but yet, you know what I'm saying, that didn't happen to me. Now I feel like that's because he didn't raise me. I wasn't around that energy. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't, you know, energetically, that wasn't taught to me. So even though that's, you know, that, and that's possibly in me, and not to say that it's not in me, I feel like we all have strengths and weaknesses inside of us. It's honestly what we choose to feed. Because like, my dad is not in my life, but he's around. I have his phone number. I can talk to him if I want to. You know what I'm saying? But he chooses to continue to see things the way he wants to see them. You know what I'm saying? Because he's functional. He ain't out there killing nobody and hurting nobody, or even hurting himself. He just has a very warped sense or perspective on certain things based off of his experiences and, you know, his paranoia. You see what I'm saying? But he's cool. You know what I'm saying? From my understanding, he doesn't take medication or anything like that. But yet he is technically a borderline, you know what I'm saying, paranoid schizophrenic.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's why I think a lot of this is more so. I feel like it's made into these big, horrible things because of the Matrix. Because my grandmother was schizophrenic and actually took medication for it, and they told my mom when I was born, like, you're okay, but you're gonna have to watch your daughter for this mental disorder because it skips generations. You know, and so is it the mental disorder that's skipping generations, or is it literally, like I said, once again, these entities that know which powerful souls are being born into the family? And you know, and it's really about our mental strength. We, you know, the ones of us who don't fall to mental illness is because we go through the same mental wars, but we have that mental strength to overcome it.
Exactly.
We recognize that that it is not us speaking to ourselves, or that is not the divine creator giving us this information. You know, we can actually, we have that intuition and discernment to be able to differentiate between a demonic entity telling us something and our angels and our God telling us something, you know.
And even that, I feel like we have a choice to be mentally weak. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, as far as demons and things like that, that's on a whole nother level. And most people can't even get the surface stuff right. You know
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like simple stuff like we're not taught to be strong. Like just think about slavery. Our ancestors if anybody's gonna say they had a mental issue, you know what I'm saying? Our ancestors had a PTSD. Is that not that's classified as a mental illness? Okay, well, our ancestors all had PTSD. You're talking about being lynched. You're talking about being raped. You're talking about being taken from your whole homeland, your food being taken away, your culture being taken away. Like that is just a whole.
And that changed their DNA. That changed their DNA, and then they reproduce, and that DNA that they're reproducing with has that traumatized DNA in it. You know.
Absolutely. So you're passing down trauma. See what I'm saying? So if you fix the trauma, and even with that, even though they're passing that on, look at what they accomplished though, without help, without therapy, without podcasts, you know what I'm saying? Without anybody actually caring at the time. They still had families they had to take care of. They still had children they had to raise. You know what I'm saying? They still had to live in society without education, without any of the resources that we possess right now. and they lived through all of those things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't take anything from the military, but people will go into the military, go into that war zone for a couple of years and whatnot, and come out real jacked up. And you're talking about a group of people that went through things like that for 400 years, talking about generation after generation after generation of that, and did not have the resources, to say that, I need help. So if they can do that, why can't we? You see what I'm saying? Like, why do we have to succumb to that when there's people who have went through worse? And I'm not trying to say that anybody's story, traumas, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to belittle that in any form of fashion. You cannot tell me, you know what I'm saying, that is worse than going through, because they went through everything we go through. All those childhood traumas we go through, because that's where it came from. I'm going to keep it real. That's where all the molestation and the abandonment and, and the narcissism, that's where all of that came from. So can you imagine dealing as a group of people, not just selected few, a group of people dealing with that on a regular basis? That is a normal life for them. And ain't nothing they can do about that. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of disrespectful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That they went through all of that stuff, and now we have all of these resources and we don't use them.
No, it's very disrespectful.
You know what I'm saying? So, and again, not trying to, put nobody's situation down at all, because like I said, I was on that podcast and one of the sisters on there, she went through a lot. Y'all should definitely go and watch that episode. That sister went through a lot. She's my fucking hero. I don't know who I would be if I dealt with some of that stuff. And again, she's on this podcast. She has her own podcast with her, so it's like, we're going to have to really step up. If you really want a different life, we really need to step up. You know what I'm saying? On holding ourselves accountable, getting rid of these secrets, because that's the way that really accountability comes in. Hiding these things and keeping them wrapped up in, instead of, dealing with them and telling the folks you need to tell. You know what I'm saying? And putting that on out there, because that's how this continues. And I'm speaking about our community. We always what goes in this house stays in this house, and that's BS, because everybody knows about it anyway. You ain't keeping it. The whole hood know it, your church know it, everybody know what happened, but you still not talking about it. See what I'm saying? We scream Bloody Mary to the R. Kellys of the world, but how are we preventing that?
Right.
What are we actually doing to stop those things?
Yeah, a lot of stuff is getting swept under the rug. People are not getting to the root of the problems. They are just kind of existing. And then a lot of people turn to, like you said, alcohol, even sex, just different things to cope with the stuff that's going on with them. And then they chalk it up as a mental illness. And then they get on these medications that the big pharmacy is, prescribing them to stay afloat. They're the biggest drug dealers out here,
Yeah.
So they do all of that, and they have a mental illness, or they're this and that, but nobody's, like you said, is getting to the root of the problem. They're just medicating these people into this coma state to where they can't even freaking function, and they can't even do just normal basic things. And they're making them believe, again, like we talked about, and I said so many times on this podcast, it's all about perception. The mind is very powerful, and it's all about perception. And if you have this perception and you think and you keep telling yourself that you have a mental illness, then you will start to believe it. You have to break up out of that, that mental prison that you're in, and believe in these things, and start to get to the root of the problem, talk about it, figure out what's going on. If you got to talk to, your parents, wherever it's stemming from, and instead of sweeping it under the rug, it's just going to get bigger and bigger. And then you got to address the elephant in the room. And then again, that's how it passes down from generation to generation, because instead of us dealing with it, we just pass it on to our children, and our kids see us go through it or whatnot, or we see our parents go through it, and now we're living it, and we think something's wrong with us. We're cursed or whatever, but we're not getting to the root of the problems and the issues, and not talking about it, and we just kind of exist and act like it's nothing, and then it just becomes a problem. So yeah, people just need to
So
get to the root.
that's my challenge. Is the next holiday that you, whoever is watching this, myself included, us included, the next time that you are with more than 5 of your family members, I challenge you to have a genuine topic. We don't care about each other's cars. We don't care about y'all the material gain. We're talking about starting and striking an emotionally healing conversation within your family. Next time you are around a group of your family members, no matter what the event is, even if it's a wedding and y'all gotta wait till after the wedding and we didn't have the good energy, but before we leave, we need to touch on this topic, like because I was able to have a conversation, spark up a conversation with my mom. And she was able to tell me some stuff. Like, I didn't know my mom was in a group home for 7 years of her life, and like her teenage, like her important years of finding herself. And she was in a group home by herself. So, you don't know a lot of the understanding when it comes to why family members have hurt us or why they continue to hurt us. A lot of the understanding will come from you understanding them and understanding their story and not holding them to this title of mother or, father or child, whoever, grandparent, or even, whoever. Like, for me, it was my little brother's dad. So, like, whoever's caused you these traumas, like, the light comes from you being able to put yourself in their shoes, no matter how hard that is. And the only way you can do this is by having conversations with your family, because a lot of the stuff you won't know unless y'all have these hard, and it's hard, it's uncomfortable, but it's powerful. And that's why we don't do it, is because we are so afraid of the power within our indigenous nations and families. And in reality, we are supposed to embrace that power. There's power that comes with trauma and pain. But if you're not utilizing it, if you're suppressing it rather than letting it out with your family as one and embracing each other and, consoling each other and being there for each other emotionally, supporting each other, being that ear that they needed to talk to about stuff, even if it's 20 years later, there's great power that can come from having these conversations.
These family secrets, like you say, you want it to be secret from other people, but y'all are keeping it secret from each other.
From each other.
And that doesn't make sense. That's something that's actually something traumatic that I dealt with my family dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
I personally feel like if you're my family member, not to say I need to know every inkling detail. I don't need to know how you and your man is doing it and how you flipped it to the side. Like, that's a little bit too much information, but I should know everything about you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Just like you should know everything about me. Like, why would I hide myself? Why you're supposed to love me unconditionally. Your family is supposed to be the people who rock with you regardless. You know what I'm saying, of what happens. So why would I hide things from you? You know what I'm saying? Like, that never made sense to me. But I grew up around, you know what I'm saying, a group of people who have this energy of secrecy. You know what I'm saying? They feel like this is mystery about them, but they just have a whole bunch of wrapped up trauma that nobody knows about, and everybody in their feelings, and then it comes out in the wrong way. And I don't personally, I don't deal with emotions that way. What you see is what you get. You ask anybody that know me. Some people feel like I say too much, but you'll never ever have to guess where I'm concerned. You know what I'm saying? I tell you how I feel, and and I put it on out there. And if it's something and if I really value my relationship, you know what I'm saying, I want to do what's best for it. So if I gotta apologize, if it's something that I need to change, then I want to do that. You know what I mean? Because I care about that, that situation. But most people, they use their traumas and this label of mental illness, honestly, to just continue to be bad people. To be quite honest, I won't say bad people, but to dwell in your lower self, to continue,
you know what I'm saying? Be their shadow self.
Yeah. So yeah, to live in your shadow self and thinking that it's okay.
And some people have chosen that path. That's what we got to realize, and that's what I have to come to comfort with. Some people this life did not choose the God path, the ascension path, the healing path. Right. Some people chose to in their soul on their journey. They said, okay, I'm gonna go through all this, but I want to see what it's like to just live in that, to just live in that low vibration. And a
It's
lot of people,
right, because
you know,
I don't understand it. That makes sense because I couldn't understand that. Like how you say you want to better for your life and you want to do this, but then somebody tells you exactly what to do and you just refuse to do it. And then they give you the spiel, not everybody's like you. I ain't telling you to be like me. I'm telling you to be you. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Be
Like,
a better you. Be a better
yes.
you. A more evolved you. People
yeah.
are
Mm-hmm.
scared. People are scared of the potential that they can be. Like people are scared of that. They don't. You know what I'm saying? It's just I don't get it. I don't understand it because I found myself in that same
Power.
position. Like I would look at people in my family, friends, whatever people that is close to me, and I would see them, and I'm like why don't you want better for yourself? Like, why do you keep repeating these cycles? Like, you know better. When you know better, you do better. And when you want something different, you do something different. You don't keep repeating the same thing. Like, I'm not going to put myself in a position that I've already been through. Like, if I know I went through some shit and I know it was some fucked up stuff or whatever the case may be, and I'm recognizing that I am starting to repeat that, I'm going to talk and be like, I'm going to reassess the situation and I'm going to remove myself from the situation. I'm not going to keep repeating the same cycles because when you love yourself, that's what you do. And that's what the problem is. These people don't love themselves enough. So they continue to keep putting themselves through the same stupid stuff. And
And
it's
give
like to
yourself
us,
a
it's
mental
like it
illness. It gives yourself a
right.
mental illness. You almost
Exactly.
doing something. Yeah.
And
Like,
to us, we looking at it like
Right there.
what's the problem? And it's like to them, it's just like it's so big, but it's just like they again, if they just change their perspective, and if you want more for yourself, if you want better for yourself, you will do better. You won't keep going down this pathway to just destruction, like that's leading to nowhere. That's a dead
Mm-hmm.
end. Like why? Why would you want that for yourself? Like people gotta like wake up, and it be people that I can give you a pass if you like in your 20s, you know what I'm saying? But when you like to live life, what is you doing? Like what are you doing? Like I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Like
Again,
I said,
maybe
we can't. It's not. They're doing what they signed up to do. They didn't sign up to sin this life.
that is a that I'm going to continue to train myself to feel that way because she's
Because
very
I'm telling you, that's the only
balanced
thing
in.
that could make me wrap my
Positive
head
and
around
negative.
and
Yeah.
comprehend.
It's positive and
Yeah.
negative. In every story, you got
Mm-hmm.
the villain and you got the
Everyone's
hero.
playing their part.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they are playing their part. You are absolutely right. So it's not that I don't understand. What I want to do is to make other people aware to start really labeling themselves and stop using mental illness honestly as an excuse not to heal. I'll say this: there are people playing a role, and I feel like then you need to be real about your role. Say that.
Right.
I
Right.
choose, me individual as an individual. I feel like that this is comfortable for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to change. I don't
Yeah.
want to be better. I want to be exactly where I am. I want to be exactly who I am. I can
You
respect
know.
that.
Yeah. There's even
I'm gonna
power from
respectfully stay
saying
away
that.
from you though. Just know this.
right,
Everybody be around you, but
right.
respect that. And that's the problem. You are labeling yourself and honestly using real life situations. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like crying wolf. Now I got this website. I'm gonna share my screen before we go, so I can show you this list of mental illnesses and how sway. Because if that's the case, we all got mental illness. If
Run
that's
me my checks.
I told you.
like,
I
yo,
almost went.
Right.
depression is
It's
considered a
crazy.
mental illness. Are you kidding me?
And it's not mental illness.
That
It's
is
the
not a
fact
mental
that
illness.
y'all
I have been
literally got
depressed
everything in
before.
this.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been depressed before. Like
Food makes you depressed. Drinking will make you depressed.
that's
Like
another
going
thing
out.
too. The food we eat. That's another thing. Your diet, like you're
That's
talking about
mhm.
spirits. You know what I'm saying? Well, there's even like again surface stuff. The food that you eat. You know your gut is your second brain. So you want to talk
Right.
mental illness. It's your gut that got the illness because you're feeding it all of this
Ooh.
poison. So if you got any mental illness going on, it's in your stomach.
Yeah.
Here. It's
Yeah.
in here because what you put in here goes up here.
Yeah.
and helps control here. We're chemical people. So all this McDonald's,
That's
all
deep.
the chemical, you know what I'm saying? All the stuff that y'all have to eat, that y'all have to have. So Thanksgiving, think about that.
You know, Thanksgiving is the busiest day of the year for hospitals.
Christmas, think
Because
about
so many people
absolutely.
eat themselves into a diabetic coma or a stroke, or it's crazy.
That
It's
controls
so
how you
crazy.
think. Most people who eat, most meat eaters are aggressive.
They are. Yes, they are.
You know what I'm saying? Like, pay attention to those things. So there's simple things that you can actually do to help your emotional and mental health. And it ain't got nothing to do with pills. It has to do with choices. And that's where accountability comes in. I'm not telling you that you are responsible for what happened to you.
But you're responsible for what
But you have
happened
the
after.
power to change it and
you
heal
are.
it.
I don't know what situation. In some cases you are. But, you know, when it comes down to traumatic things, especially, you know, for the sake of the podcast, when you talk about childhood traumas, yeah, what happened to you as a child was not your fault. But you are responsible for who you become. There is no getting over that. No one is exempt. I wasn't exempt, so you wasn't exempt. Quita wasn't exempt. Misha wasn't, you know, no one is exempt. It's not just bad people out here, you know what I'm saying, going through shadow work and going through things. I'm a good person. And I'm, you know what I'm saying, I'm not one to just talk about stuff, but I'm a great person. I ain't never hurt nobody maliciously. I don't care what nobody say. I never have a bad intention in anything that I do. I don't care what mistake I've made. I've always had good intentions. That didn't stop me from losing my arm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could have definitely had that perspective. Like, yo, that was mad foul. What did I do to deserve that? Nah, it wasn't about that. It was about what I needed, you know what I'm saying, to move forward, to figure out what I needed to do. And my universe decided that this was the thing. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? You know how many times I've had to apologize? You know what I'm saying? Again, good intentions. But I hold myself accountable. And that's why I grow.
Yeah, people use that victim mentality a lot because they look at their life and they like, oh, woe is me. Why I have to go through this? Why this has to happen to me? Why this? Why that? And again, it's all about perspective. You have to understand no matter what happens in your life, good, bad, or indifferent, it is all shaping and molding you to become the person you're supposed to be. And once you grasp that concept, that when the bad shit does happen, you will make a way to turn it into a positive. But a lot of people stop, like they'll take all the positive all day, but when the negative happens, it's like they take that and they use that and they become a victim and they like, oh, why is this happening to me? And instead of trying to figure out like, you know, why is this happening to me, figure out what is this trying to teach me? What can I learn from this? What can I use? Like, how can I help somebody else up out of this shit that they're going through? Like, that's how you have to look at it instead of and looking at it like you're a victim and then using that and like, oh, well, I gotta start, you know, smoking. I gotta start drinking and, you know, I gotta go have sex with all these men or all these females to kind of suppress these feelings and these emotions instead of just dealing with them and rolling with the tide. You know what I'm saying? And again, it's just again perception, and a lot of people use that victim mentality. So yes, you can't help what happened to you when somebody at somebody else's at the hand of someone else, but you can choose to, you know, get over it and, you know, do the healing work to move past all of that. So you can choose that, you know, or you can choose to stay in it and you can choose to repeat the cycle and be the same person that fucked you up. You know, you have that choice. That's one thing that the universe, that God gives us. He gives us free will. So yeah, we can go through some stuff. I'm not exempt, like you said. We're not exempt from the bad stuff. You can't expect rainbows and sunshines and butterflies all day. That's not life. That's a fairy tale. That's what that is. So you have to take the good with the bad. It's just part of it.
We need to be taught that. We need to be taught to take the good with the bad. Like, I don't know
Yes.
exactly how to do that, but this whole everything has to be good. I could take it back to religion. It's either good or evil. You're either going to heaven or you're going to hell. There's no gray area in that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't believe that is true. You karma, you definitely gonna get the energy you get back, but it's not just this simple black and white.
Right, because
Black
like I said, there's 99% of the energies going on that we can't even
know
see.
about. That's the
Man,
fact.
we can't even see them in like, just like I'm looking at this microwave right here. There's 99 other energies going on around me, but I can't touch them and I can't see them. So out of sight, out of mind is what they teach us. But in reality, those are the ones you should be focused on. Those are the energies you should be learning and trying, because like the moon's energy, the stars, when they're aligned certain ways, that's how you know, okay, this is going on in the sky today. So I could be a little bit more emotional. I could be a little less patient with people, a little more quick to temper, because Mars is doing some crazy crapping, Taurus. Yes, but they don't teach you that. They literally tell you, if you can't touch it and see it or taste it, feel it, if you can't use the 5 senses, then it ain't real.
Except Jesus.
Except for Jesus. But in reality, there's so many. The 6th sense is your intuition. Why do you think that animals leave a vicinity whenever a storm is coming? They didn't see the storm yet, but
let the animals start doing something. I'm following them. You're gonna see me, my backpack, and my carry-on, and I'm trying to tell you,
like,
I'm out with the animal. I'm trying to tell you, they follow. That's the one thing that other species do that we don't. They are completely in tune with their intuition and how they're connected to the earth. So,
and we all have it. We all have the ability to tap into it. It's just we block it. People need to open up their chakras. And that's one thing that I'm learning on my journey, is I'm learning to listen more to my intuition. There has not been one time in my whole 35 years of living that I have ever had an inkling and a strong feeling about a person or a situation that I found out later that I was wrong about. I have always been right. And I feel like that's one thing that the universe is trying to teach me, to listen and pay more attention to my intuition and listen to that gut feeling that I have. Because every time I've always kind of played it off to the side, I find out later I was right, and I'm like, damn, I could have saved myself some time, So it's just like
that's your second brain.
That's
Why they insinuate your gut,
right?
Your brain, because that is your second mind,
right?
It don't show up in here. It show up in here. You get that stomach, like, what's that feeling?
And it just keeps tapping at you. It's like, hey, and it don't go away until you answer it, or until the universe reveals it to you, and you like, hey.
And we don't pay attention to that. We allow our traumas.
Other distractions around us too.
Yeah.
Even when we're dealing with our traumas, you got your job, you got children, your significant other. If you're not single, you got social media, which you can be on one damn social media app for 5 hours. Just scrolling, because they done figured your system out, because they watched everything that you liked, and now they only putting up stuff that you like. So you look up and
algorithm. It's called algorithm.
That's what it is. What you gotta be. You gotta be strong on your focus. No matter what your focus is, that is the only way I'm learning to overcome and beat this system and beat them at their game, is to be able to tune out all of their distractions. If you're not making money from social media, then do you really need social media? Because every second you on social media, you're giving them the opportunity to program you with something less than the energy that you want.
Why do most people go on social media? Let's keep it real. To be sociable. Most people want to be seen. It's a way for people who don't honestly have sociable lives to have one. So this is why it's such a great distraction, because people really want to be seen. People want to be heard as human beings. That's why when the whole lockdown situation shut down, there were people, developing mental illnesses. Because
isolation.
Because of that, we are naturally human. You know what I'm saying? We like to touch. We hugs, and we're interactive. We're interactive species.
And was they developing? Now, some of them was developing mental illnesses, but some people was just actually forced to sit down and face their shit.
Oh, that's what
I
didn't mean like literally developing. I should have said that differently. I mean just to say about,
because that's what it was for a lot of people. A lot of people just then they weren't able to get up and
right.
They just they had to sit down.
These things were coming up because of the circumstances. So if you fix the circumstances, you'll fix the issue. And no one's trying to talk about the circumstances. Because if you change the circumstances, you got to change your life. And most people really don't want to change their life because you don't understand what that means. You might have to give up your comforts to change your life. And it's not to say that they may not come back later. But yeah, you may have to give up that house, that brand new car. You know what I'm saying? That weave, you know what I'm saying? That, whatever it is that you find comfortable. You might have to give that up.
Yesterday, because I had to give up going to the nail salon. Like, let me go and paint my nails and act like I got a budget.
When I first lost my arm, I felt like I needed to decorate my hand. I only had one, so it needed to be pretty. So, like, religiously, I got my nails done. But then I got my own place. And I had to do my own dishes and sweep my own floor and make my own bed and do this, that, and the third all by myself. I didn't have my mama's home attendants, you know what I'm saying, tending to, you know what I'm saying, a certain shit no more. So guess what? Ain't nobody got time for these fake nails to be plucking and taking out my damn cuticles and all that. It's not, like, great. Trying to just putting on a bra or pulling up my jeans or something like that will chip my nail, and I would get the acrylic joint, so then that's pulling on your real nail and making you bleed and no.
Right.
I might get not might. I'm gonna get my nails done because my birthday's next month. So I got a styling profile and the channel is launching. So I gotta get done up.
Yeah, celebration season.
Yeah, but other than that,
right,
that's all you get because it's not practical. Adapting, that's another thing to go along with this subject. We got to learn how to be adaptive, man. Giraffes used to have short necks, but you know what they said? I don't know exactly what was going on at the time, but clearly their food was in the trees, and these niggas was like, listen, we got to eat, so and figure that shit out. Survival of the fittest. That's what this world is about.
Yeah,
it was either die or adapt or evolve. That's the word. Either die or evolve.
Because I like to say I'm strong in what I believe, and I believe there's entities of a lower vibration controlling this earth, and that's why we have manifested a war into our earth and in these countries. It's because we're on a whole spiritual warfare right now that us as humans don't know about because they ain't gonna tell us about it. But it's a real thing. So now you got Russia and all these other places that are on our earth that we can see warring. But it's just, that it's that reflection. So it's like, I had a point with that. I swear I did. But
or to me, in any type of fame is balancement. Everything is never going to be always peaches and cream. I think you said that earlier, Taquita. This world has to be in balance. Let's keep it real, yo. We fucking up the earth, are we not? We take as human beings, and we don't give. Well, Mother Nature, you know what I'm saying? Everything is in balance. This earth is going to balance out. This earth is going to get rid of us before it allows us to get rid of it.
That was my point. My point was Mother Earth and everything that's going on in our system is vibrating at a higher level. She's raising in frequency. So we're going to have to adapt. You're going to have to eventually, whether it's this life or the next life or the next life, your ass is going to have to adapt and raise your vibration and your frequency because the earth is raising her vibration and her frequency.
That's it.
And like you said, once she gets to a point where she's ready to go, we're going.
Mayona, what's
Moana.
The part? Yeah, that's it.
This is my movie.
Everybody is watching. You need to go. Let me see if I can put that in the chat.
Yo, Moana is all types of different messages. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
my sons, they sing them songs and they love that movie.
You should absolutely watch Moana.
Moana, yes, there you go.
Right.
And I'm telling you because
watch that movie.
It shows a perfect representation of a pure soul that has a calling to protect its nation, its family, in that self journey of discovering yourself to save your higher self. Because you can't tell me nothing. That monster is Moana. The goddess is Moana. The goddess looks just like Moana. That's her light form and her, her dark form.
It goes along with honestly what's going on right now. To be quite honest, it's like we're connected to this earth. Like even the story, don't want to tell y'all the movie and whatnot, but when you come away from who you are, that's a lot of the reason why a lot of us have these mental issues. because we're not who we are. We're not living the lives that we're supposed to be living. You know what I'm saying? And it's a mind fuck. When you know in yourself that there's something going on, and and you're supposed to be doing something else. Most people who work at their jobs, that's not what you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
Most people, your job, that's not what you're just doing that to pay your bills. That's not your purpose. And that's driving you crazy.
Big difference.
Yeah, that's driving you crazy. And that's why I say people think of having a big house and having these material things is what is successful. But no, this is why people would have everything and they still take their lives.
You're right.
Girl,
you know what I'm saying? Because that's still not who they are. Again, we are not these bodies. We are spiritual beings having a human experience.
Exactly.
Yeah, so if your soul is not fulfilled, and no matter what you do, that's just not gonna work. So this is what's honestly driving people crazy. That's what's giving you this mental turmoil. I'm not gonna say illness. A lot of people are in mental turmoil, have emotional trauma.
Look, I love how all of our big grown selves is all into this movie. Look,
yeah. I'm gonna go watch it again.
It's on Disney Plus. Yeah, she put me on
that movie over 100 times. Yeah. That movie, I was in an unhappy marriage, knowing that I was supposed to be doing more with my life when that movie came out, and I would sit there and watch that movie and just cry, feeling like I was ignoring. I had this calling to me like, Nisha, you need to do more. You got to leave this marriage. Like, you love them, but you got. Man,
that's your gut. That's your gut.
So close to me.
Do you know how many times I've been at a job or working, and then I would just get this strong, overwhelming feeling like I'm not supposed to be here. It's something else. Like I can't explain it, and I guess that's why I do what I do. And I'm a reader. Like I get these feelings, I get these intuitions. This strong, powerful feeling comes over me, and it just like taps at me until I do something. And every time it's been times I've been at jobs and like something just come over me and it's like, you don't supposed to be here. You need to get out here. You need to find something else. And then I will find something else. And then it's like, I have it again. Like, and it's not just it's like with people and connections, relationships. Like I always get these strong intuition feelings and stuff would just come to me. Like, I'm like, what is this? And I'm not knowing what it is and I don't know how to explain it. And people need to understand that is just the universe. That's God's way of just like, getting your attention so that you can move in the direction and get on the path that you're supposed to be on. And a lot of times we ignore that and we ignore it. We don't listen. And guess what? And that's when the universe starts coming in and fucking shit up. And until you get on the right path, it start messing stuff up. Your life start going crazy. People start doing this, doing that. And the universe will break you down until it forces you to make that right decision and get on the right path. That's just all it is. It's directing you. You got to listen to that gut. You got to listen to your intuition because it's never gonna steer you wrong.
And when you don't listen, that's when you get. That's when
stuff start happening.
Start messing up. Yeah. All right, so I would.
And that's what I tell people as my argument. I'm sorry. That's what I tell people as my argument though. When I'm trying to stand 10 toes down on something I believe in. That's exactly what I tell them. Like, my intuition that led me this far and proved this stuff, I ain't going back. If my intuition is telling me this, I can't really care what you're talking about right now.
Right.
At all.
That's so facts. All right. So
but once you know.
Nope, go ahead. Say something else.
Sorry, I'm just going on. You good.
So I want to share my screen so we can look at this list of mental. This is called Mental Health A to Z. It's from the website verywellmind.com. Verywellmind.com, all in one. So you guys can look this up yourself, and we're going to see exactly what is considered a mental illness. Okay. Let's try to do this as quickly as possible. I think I did it.
Your cousin had a good point too. Maui, like I said, there's no good or bad. People say Hitler was bad. Other people thought Hitler was good, or he wouldn't have whole armies, you know? And so it's like, you can't say that someone served, like you were saying earlier, people, like we was talking about people who refuse to change. It's not that they refusing to change, they just didn't sign up to change. They signed up to be that. And we have to think about that with these presidents, with all these entities, with our family members, our parents, with the trauma. It's like, you can't say they being a bad person. They're simply doing what they're supposed to. And if that, what they're doing is causing you a discomfort or causing you pain or trauma, it's not that they were a bad person for causing it, because in reality, I'm a believer that our soul signs up for a lot of things that we go through. So that pain they caused you, you were supposed to go through because you were supposed to grow through it, and you were supposed to learn from it and evolve and ascend into a higher person. You're supposed to transmute that energy, you know?
What she has said, that's a fact. All right, let me see. Okay. So, verywellmind.com. So, we have A to Z. So, in the A's, you have abnormal psychology. What is that? Abnormal psychology is a branch of psychology that deals with psychopathology and abnormal behavior, often in a clinical context. The term covers a broad range of disorders, from depression to obsessive compulsive disorder to personality disorders. Counselors, clinical psychologists, and psychotherapists often work directly in this field. Okay, so I'm going to stop there with that. Abnormal psychology. Now, what the medical field tends to do is they don't really know what's going on with you. If you come in there and they ask you what your symptoms are, and if they don't have a specific thing, they just make these generalized diagnoses or diseases of a sort. I'll give you an example. There's something called Bell's palsy. Somebody that I know, contracted this, Bell's palsy. It is a form of paralysis. It seems like you're having a stroke, but it's not a stroke. So because they don't know what it is, they just decided, I guess, the palsy guy or the Bell guy who discussed, who first started studying this, called it palsy. Palsy is the suffix, for paralysis. So if you ever see palsy on anything in anything medical, that's a form of paralysis. So they don't really know what it is, but they're just making it up. So anything that's abnormal is now considered an illness, is the point that I'm trying to get at. So if you're doing something that's out of the scope of what this society deems to be, normal, then you have an illness.
So
alcohol use.
They'll say that a lot of our spiritual gifts are mental illnesses.
Absolutely. Like, you have alcohol use is considered a mental illness, and then you have binge drinking under B. So what's the difference?
And then why is it legal? If it's a mental illness, why is there liquor stores?
Girl, how do I bring all of us up here without? There we go. Girl.
I'm just saying the contradictories are crazy. That's insane right there.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just need people to understand. If they have these lists, this is from the medical, from the medical. So if these things are causing these issues, why are these things legal?
Right.
Why don't we go back to, to the prohibition? It used to be legal to drink. See what I'm saying? Yo, these people do not care about your health at all.
At all.
At all. They're going to charge you for the alcohol. There is no limit to it. You can drink as much as you want as long as you're a certain age. And then guess what? Then you're going to pay them to fix your mental illness that you develop for drinking that.
And if you drink
free will.
If you get into trouble while drinking what they allowed you to drink, knowing that it will mess your system up and you get in trouble, now you also got to lose your freedom.
the fact that they don't give you alcohol tests. What was that movie? What was that show? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good.
Nurse Jackie.
Uh-huh.
That chick was a whole alcoholic. Whole alcoholic doing surgery on people.
Right. And that's real deal. Doctors really be on that because they're humans
and that's
too
my
in reality, coping with their own stuff.
And that's my point. I know doctors that are cokeheads.
Mm-hmm.
But simply because they don't test for those things, it's okay. You got, you know what I'm saying? And this is probably why, you know what I'm saying, hospitals and stuff like that have all this insurance situation where you got to sign everything and they're not liable.
Mm-hmm.
Because can you imagine if Nurse Jackie showed up?
Right.
And had to give you your epidural? And you can't sue her? See, nah. And this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now so that's technically a mental illness. So you not only you have someone working on somebody, and I know this is just that's real life.
Mm-hmm.
There are doctors, you know what I'm saying? People are doing surgeries on folks, you know what I'm saying? But they're still human beings and they still got their traumas.
Oh, and your cousin made a good point though. A lot of these illnesses and stuff, they're serious when it comes to the non-melanated community. But for the Black community, it's just us being us. We just got alcoholic uncles.
She made a great point.
And crackhead aunties and stuff. Like it's not the same. It's not treated as the same severity. Even though the non-melanated body has an actual gland or something that helps them process alcohol. In indigenous bodies, we don't have this gland, which is why we take alcohol on such a worse, like it messes with us so much more. But it's in every Black neighborhood, even though we can't process it normally.
And then they use a lot of people, these Caucasians, they use mental illness when they get in trouble, with the law. They use this mental illness thing. We'll just use mental illness because they killed such and such and such. But let a Black person get on trial. Oh, they angry, they mad, they whatever the case may be because of the color of their skin. So these Karens, they use this mental illness situation when they have these breakdowns, what they call it, when they are being racist or whatever the case may be. So people can, they play that mental illness card when it's convenient for them, but we can't play that mental illness card. It's just who we are, is in our DNA. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, people need to stop, using mental illness. Again, it's not that. It's just a lot of it, especially, with this racist situation, is who they are. It ain't no mental illness. It's just who they are, who they choose to be. Like we talked about before, we have a choice, we have a decision to make. And a lot of people make that decision, that choice to be these people, and they use mental illness as a excuse to do what the hell they want to do.
And that's why I wanted to talk about this. And I feel like people in general, not just necessarily Black or white folks, because that's clear.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what was the situation? The boy who shot up that school, killed all the little kids, and then I'm gonna keep real. I don't even mention stuff like that because I still work on that. I'm Sister Social, so I don't even try to talk about stuff like that because then I'll go on a whole rant and get off topic. You know what I'm saying? So that stuff goes. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, I'm gonna let y'all know right now. My phone is dying and I don't have my charger with me. So when I'm out, okay?
Cool beans, no doubt. But yeah, but that's what I mean. But let's look at some more of these. You know what I'm saying? Bulimia. So binge eating. So eating disorders. That's another thing.
Really just insecurities. It's just lack of
How is that a
confidence,
mental
lack
issue?
of self-love.
I really would like to know how that's a mental. Coming from I've been a fat girl my whole life. I've been a big girl my whole life. Okay, most people. Now I just did that because we ate poorly. I had the cliche Southern diet, and we ate McDonald's and all that. Everybody in my family was big, so we's all big. But then you have people who, again, it's your traumas and your emotions. The things that you do, we do things to make us comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Or to mask what we got going on. So this is why people go, what is it? When you're in a relationship, happy weight. You know what I'm saying? Or
I want some happy weight. Yeah, I'm about to put some on too.
Or
Yeah.
the first thing you want is chocolate or ice cream. You know what I'm saying? You have this imagery when you get your heart broken that, you know what I'm saying, now you just want to eat a whole bunch of ice cream and things of that nature. You want to eat things, you know what I'm saying? Then you have people on the other end, you know what I'm saying, who don't want it because they have this image issue. It's not that they don't like eating, it's that they feel like they need to look a certain way because they want to be a model, because they want to, you know what I'm saying, because they don't want to be fat, because society gives you this, you're not beautiful unless you look like this, that, and a third. That's why people have those issues. That's not a mental disorder. That's an identity crisis.
That's a societal disorder.
And that's a societal issue.
Yeah,
that's a societal problem. Y'all
Right.
make these little kids and these women make them feel like they need to do all that.
These BBLs and all of that.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
you know what
double
I mean?
BBLs now. I saw a double BBL. I was like,
It don't.
Wait,
okay.
so they did they got the reverse, like BBWs. Now they got BBLs.
Yeah, they got BBLs.
They take the fat out of your stomach and they inject it into their butt. I mean, to each his own. Like, I ain't gonna lie. If I have the money, I get, like, I'm not gonna get that done, but I get some stuff snipped and tucked. I ain't gonna lie, but I ain't about to. I'm gonna be natural. Like, it is what it is. What you get is what you see is what you get. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That was funny. She said enabling the sale of pork rinds. I'm sorry.
I know. I say your cousin. We're gonna have to have her on as a guest because she in these comments going off.
Right.
It's just
I
like
used to tear pork rinds up, not knowing what it was.
That's not that when I was younger. My uncle used to sell them. I liked his. I ain't gonna lie. I really wasn't too fond of the bagged ones. I like theirs because we so.
But a couple of our sisters and brothers who do what they do, and now they done made pork rinds into healthy versions, like vegan.
Yes,
chicken,
I've seen that. I used to work for a vegan restaurant, and I think that was one of the products that the owner was trying to add to their stock of items. So they definitely do. I'm gonna keep it real. All of that is just seasoning. Seasoning,
I like that.
and the crackle, whatever they do to make the crackle, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's like these are things, and again, I'm not saying that these are not things that people aren't dealing with. You know what I'm saying? I know for a fact, I know people, you know what I'm saying, who deal with the whole, you know what I'm saying, eating situation. A lot of people do things for attention. You know what I'm saying? They feel like if I'm hurt or if I'm in distress, that's the only time people care about me. That's the only time somebody's going to love me, if I'm doing bad. So let me continue to be bad. Let me continue to always be a victim and always be a patient
and be needy.
So I can be deemed important in someone's life. Again, it all goes back to your traumas, you not knowing yourself, you not loving yourself. None of that is you literally having a wrong synapses going on in your brain. At least this one up here. Because when you think mental illness, this is what people are thinking about. Something's wrong, you know what I'm saying, with your brain. But it's the gut that you got going on and your emotions that, you know what I'm saying, as really is the problem. And if you would just address those things, then you'll be all right. You won't need no pills. You won't get addicted. And if you are, because addiction is also a thought process. Like, man, technically I'm addicted to weed. If you want to be technical, I smoke weed daily. You know what I'm saying? And if I don't smoke, I can feel the difference.
There ain't no problem
I will go through withdrawal. You know what I'm saying? If I have to stop smoking for whatever reason, you will feel the effects of withdrawal. So technically, if I'm upset, I definitely trying to smoke. That's the thing that I use to calm me down. So in a sense, yeah, I'm addicted to weed. So technically, I got a mental issue. That's what you're saying.
You're right. I know.
You see what I mean? So it's just like people who are addicted to food. Yeah, people who are addicted to food. Like they just
people are addicted to sodas. Like,
right.
you know
what I'm saying?
I
Like,
see people who drink cases of Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew on a daily basis. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
Personally, I think I don't say that I'm addicted to it, but I don't have a healthy relationship with with beverages outside of water. I can drink if I drink juice or anything with flavor in it, I can kill that shit in 2 seconds. I don't care if it's 8 ounces or 42 ounces. I don't know if it's the sugar, I don't know what it is, but I can just suck that thing down. Water, I drink it and I drink it daily. I don't even drink. I don't even buy juice anymore for that very reason. This is why I don't buy juice. The only time I buy juice is during the wintertime, so I can make my concoctions and put my liquid herbs in there, so I can make sure I can get ahead of the cold game. But other than that, all I drink is water. But I don't be sucking I don't be drinking a gallon of water a day. It take me about 2-3 days to get through a gallon of water. I'm not gonna lie, I'm keeping it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So technically, in some form or fashion, I have an issue, you know what I'm saying, with sugary beverages. For some reason, I don't know how to balance out when I'm drinking them. Do I have a mental issue? No, I have a bad relationship, you know what I'm saying, with sugar, I would like to say. Because me growing up, I was good.
Sugar's addictive.
Sugar is addictive. See, there you go.
And they start giving it to you as a baby.
See,
like as a baby, they start putting sugary stuff in baby food and baby drinks. And like if you ain't got your baby just eating off of your nipple, then
she said she's addicted to music. Me too, girl.
That's right. Oh, where she go?
Me
Her
too.
phone died. Damn, her phone
Oh,
died.
her phone died.
Yeah, I just saw her. Dang. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Well, we're gonna keep on going. Yeah, she already gave her disclaimer, so you know what I mean. We're gonna keep it going because I still want to I'm not gonna try to just y'all can look at this list and go, deeper into the situation. But I just want to try to take a look at the things, you know what I'm saying, that they have on. Yo, cannabis use. So because I smoke weed, I got a mental illness. According to that list.
That's crazy. We all need to be getting checks then. Okay.
Word. My disability check need to bump up. Is a matter of fact.
Rub me my money, girl. Right, rub me my money. I got. It's like 10 things on there I need to be getting checked for.
You know. And this is what I'm saying. And this is what people do.
Yeah.
You do that, and then you got people who want to use the system now because you're giving them this light away, saying that they got a problem. Anybody got a problem can get a check. So then you get upset with people for doing that when you're giving them the opportunity to do so. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we just got to deal with our problems. Got to really get to the root of your issues and your feelings and your emotions about when you were a child, you know what I'm saying, all the way up until now.
Yep.
Deal and unpack and really deal with those, you know what I'm saying, with those things, and you'll be just fine. I'm not, you know what I'm saying, I'm not telling you, there are definitely people that have gone through a lot of stuff and you've already medicated yourself. So now that medication is a part of you. So yeah, there are people who still have to take their medication. I'm not here to tell you, you know what I'm saying, exactly how to run your life in your situation. But what I am saying is, please stop allowing the society, you know what I'm saying, to label you and make you seem like you're just, you know what I'm saying, you're just this lost soul that, you know what I'm saying, that you just this empty vessel, that you have no control over your life, your feelings, your emotions, or anything about your life. You need this pill to get that together, and that ain't true. Because what happens if all the pills dry up? What you gonna do when the last pill is gone? You know what I'm saying? You truly have to choose if you want to live life. That's what you have to choose. You have to choose life, you know what I'm saying, over your tragedies. That's honestly all I did. I'm going to keep it a buck.
Yeah.
I just really wanted to live. I just really saw this as, you know what, I got a second chance. This shit could have been really bad. Real bad. It wasn't. So let me make the best of this. That's it. And the universe brought everything that needed to come to me so I can do that. So you just got to get that in your mind. That's the only mental, you know what I'm saying, thing you got to work on, is having strength in yourself, understanding who you are and figuring that out if you don't.
Yeah.
Get your DNA tested. I don't know. Talk to your grandparents. Start talking. This is what I'm saying. It's like Misha was saying earlier. We need to talk. Talk this stuff out. Talk to your peoples. Get to know who y'all really are. And you'll really find out that y'all got a lot in common outside of just being blood. That y'all are dealing with the same stuff and how y'all can come together and fix that. So please stop labeling yourself. I want y'all to look at that list. I will personally look at that list and check off everything that you see that applies to you. And really realize that I don't got mental issues. I'm saying I pay my bills on time. I didn't kill nobody yet. I'm pitying people that deserved it. No, for real. You laughing, but seriously, how many people done pissed you off that you really thought about that shit? But you didn't.
Yeah.
You have to be mentally sane to,
Right.
to deal with that, right?
You be wanting to mess people up. It be, girl, I feel you. It be times you be like, dang, like, you know what I'm saying? It crossed your mind, do some stuff, but you know you got it in check when you don't actually go through with the thoughts,
Exactly. So if you
We
avoid
all
it every time
have
you
thought
wanted
of
to
it.
get revenge, trust me, you're saying you're doing quite well. Because how many
Right.
people locked up right now because they couldn't?
Right.
Because they allowed their rage or however that feeling that was to overtake them and make them do something.
Mm-hmm.
This is why they got temporarily insanity. That's why people get away. You know what I'm saying? Because a situation could make you snap in that instant.
Because you don't have control. And all of it literally stems from emotion. It all stems from emotion. That's where it all stems from. And people, you battling with your feelings. And like most people, like if you think about it, because I'm all into like the ID channel, girl. I be okay, snap all that. Okay, like that's just my comfort zone right there. But a lot of people, if you think about it, murder or people killing somebody, it comes from jealousy, money, and like just like sex, like stuff like that. Like that is like the ballpark of why people go and do the things they do when they end up taking another person's life. You know what I'm saying? Is all stems from that. And then if you think about jealousy again as the emotion, you think about, the sexual part of somebody cheating on you or whatever when it's in relationships, it's an emotion. So it's all emotion, it's all stem from that. And people just allow that rage and that anger and that frustration to take over instead of giving themselves a mental check, like, okay, like, and it just doesn't make sense. And it's just like they just go off the deep end and they don't think about the consequences, and they just in the moment. And that's why you got to count to 10. You got to count down. I didn't got fucked over plenty of times. I didn't got people doing crazy shit to me that people look at me like, you let that happen. But you just gotta know, you gotta choose your battles. You gotta know when to just let it go. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth taking somebody's life. It's not worth keying somebody's car or flattening their tire. What are you going to get from that? The best revenge is moving the fuck on and walking away and letting it be what it is. Because they will then realize what they had or whatever the case may be in situations, even in a friendship. You fuck over your friends or whatever, they gonna realize you a good person as long as you had good intent in that situation. Leave it up to let karma get them. Let the universe figure it out. You just keep living your life. That's the best revenge. Is just keep living your life. Stack your bread up. Do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Don't let these situations. Don't let a temporary situation get you in a situation where you're gonna have to pay for it for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? It's not that deep. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so
Gotta
I
keep it
just,
in check.
yeah, I appreciate, what I'm saying, us having this conversation because, yeah, like, we gotta hold ourselves accountable for
You
our
got
emotions.
to.
Feel. We have to start really picking better people to be around. Again, everything
Yes.
choice you choose, the relationships that you're in, what I'm saying? Even choosing not to be in a relationship. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? A lot of us, we think that if we get with somebody, that's going to, they're going to save us, or they're going to fix us. And then we
Mm-hmm.
start pouring our traumas onto them. You know what I mean? And then
It's trauma bonding.
yeah, and then that just compounds. And then that's when you get, again, we talk about mental illness. If you're going to go there, there's a long road to mental illness. I'll say that. So how about we cut it short in the middle of that journey before it gets there? Because you can mentally break yourself down after going through so much and holding all that stuff in and holding that stuff in, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Never getting out. And then one day that one thing happens, that camel
And
gets
it takes you over
it
that
takes you over the edge.
takes you over the edge
So
because you don't deal with it and you let it pile up, and
that's
then it just be it's no,
that's a
yeah,
fact. So this is
girl,
why dealing with our issues in your childhood, in your adult life, dealing with those things is what eliminates that.
yeah,
So that eliminates addiction, all of that. Addiction is nothing but a byproduct of you not dealing with your issues.
mm-hmm.
And that's any and everybody. And doesn't matter what the addiction is, whatever it is that you want too much of, it's unbalancement. You drink too much water, that's bad. You eat too much food, that's bad. You know what I'm saying? If you exercise way too much, that's bad. You can overly work your muscles. You can pull a
Mm-hmm.
muscle. You can hurt yourself if you know what I'm saying, if you overly do anything.
You
So
have to
that
have moderation.
everything in moderation.
Yep,
So yeah, so that's how
has
you
to be a
stop
balance.
addictions. And stop calling yourself like, I don't know. I don't know if I need to just take it a little step further and then holler at the organization that do the AA, but y'all need to change y'all need to change y'all business model. Straight up. Stop
Mm-hmm.
having these people, you know what I'm saying, continuously tell themselves that they're alcoholics. You're not doing them any good. You are not helping these people.
Girl, words are powerful.
You're not
That's the
helping.
first thing they tell you to do. You have to
Hi,
admit.
my
You have to
name, yes,
tell
hi,
yourself,
my name
I
is
am
such and so,
an
and I'm
alcoholic.
an alcoholic. No, stop that.
Yes, it's the first. That's
Stop
the
that.
first thing they tell you to do.
No, what you say if you're gonna if you're gonna have to make an announcement like that. Hi, my name is such and so, and I'm on the road to recovering.
From become, yes, yes,
And then once you get to a certain space, you know what I'm saying? My name is such and so. I am no longer an alcoholic.
exactly, girl. That's deep.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
very powerful.
How would that change things?
Yeah.
Maybe they can enjoy going out to a party with their friends and just get some sparkling water.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? Like maybe if they had that support system, because you telling yourself, and that's that separation,
Yeah.
separating yourself from everybody else.
From that.
Yeah, and I kind of have that experience with amputees. They kind of
Mhm.
isolate themselves. Anybody that feels like they're different, they have to isolate themselves and make this label. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of the problem. You're a human being just like them people over there. You know what I'm saying? You decided to choose this situation to deal with what you had going on. They're choosing something different. It may not look
Mhm.
like yours, but they're doing something different. Everybody, you know
Mhm.
what I'm saying, masters their shit.
Mhm.
We're not taught this as children. We're not taught to deal with our shit. So everybody at some point in their life, is covering some shit up, not dealing with some shit, you know what I'm saying, and trying to figure it out.
Mhm.
So no one is exempt from that. What we're
Yeah.
trying to do is make sure these babies are not like that. So we can put ourselves in a position where people are not like that. If we do this now, 2 generations from down, like your grandkids will be straight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the point. That's the point of starting to poke at this. You know what I'm saying? Because we couldn't help what grandma did. We couldn't help what our mamas did, and so forth and so forth. But we can change what we do, because we're
Mhm.
going to be somebody's mother one
Mhm.
day. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be someone's grandmother one day. So that is why this is so important. So let's start checking ourselves. Stop everything that you got going on. It's not a mental illness. Just deal with your shit straight up. We all got to. If you need some help, there's help out there. If you reach out, you just listening to this podcast right now is you helping yourself, because you ain't got to be here. You do not have to be watching this. You do not have to listen to nothing we have to say. So the fact that you're seeking, you know what I'm saying, something says a lot about where you are and what you got going on. So clearly your mental ain't as fucked up as, you know what I'm saying, as they're making the scene, if you even have the mind to try.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start pushing mental strength instead of mental illness. You know what I'm saying? Let's have mental strength checks from now on. Let's put it out. Let's put the strength out there more so in the industry. You know what I'm saying? That's still checking on other people with mental illness. That's checking on them. It's the same difference. But let's promote strength. Why don't you tell those people with mental illness that, you know, you're mentally strong. You can be mentally strong. Let's work on that.
Mm-hmm.
What if you told them that every day? What do you have to lose? That's the thing I want to. What do you have to lose to switch that up?
Gotta speak life into yourself and
Absolutely.
not death. Life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that is my spiel, and that actually watered that down. That's why I'm glad I got, you know, co-hosts, because had I had just been me going off, that probably would have went a whole lot different. So I appreciate y'all's bringing y'all's energy, you know, saying into the intuition, into the situation. Sorry, Queen Misha is not here, but Miss Kaquita, tell everybody how to find you and what you got going on. Let's do it.
Hi guys, I am Taquita. I have a YouTube channel. I do tarot readings. I'm very spiritually highly in tune. And I just get downloads and messages. So I just assist and help people through their stuff. You know, it's all energy, right? So you can follow me on YouTube at Taquita Parker. My channel is called Scorpio Sun. I'm in the process of starting a new channel. It is dedicated to tarot and relationships and navigating through that whole thing because that's kind of what brought me to tarot. Is experiencing traumatic situations and relationships. So I want to have them go hand in hand. So I'm starting a new channel with that. Also, you can find me on Facebook. I have a group called Scorpio Sun. And also on Instagram, my name there is Real T Tarot, real underscore T Tarot. So that's where you can find me.
All right.
Also here.
That part. Yeah, yeah. Find her on SolSista Therapy Childhood Trauma Podcast. I know that's long, but we're gonna make a out of that, and it's gonna make us some money one day. I promise you. But you can definitely catch her every Saturday afternoon. You know what I'm saying? Unpacking and dealing with these childhood traumas. Appreciate you so kindly, sis. Now y'all already know April is coming. We have 27 days before we launch Amspire Media Network. I'm excited. Y'all need to be excited too. Y'all absolutely going to be able to see this podcast on there. I know there are a lot of people who really don't do the social media thing. Y'all not trying to get into the metaverse. I feel you. So you have to get this inspiration too and all of this healing. So you're going to be able to watch all of our podcasts, all the things that come, you know what I'm saying, from Amspire Media. You're going to be able to see it on our network channel on Roku. So get excited. I cannot wait for you guys to view us on television. Okay. Also, I am going to have a Helping Hand Talk Therapy service coming out as well. You know, like we always say, there's some people who need some help. So again, we want to help deal with these, these things. We don't want you to have to pop these pills. Some people just need somebody to talk to, need to hear, need to know that somebody cares. So that is what I'm going to provide. I'm going to figure out the best way to do that so I can give you guys, some of my time and my energy. So please look out for that. Of course, tomorrow, make sure that you tune in with Sundays with Spirit with 33 Master Teacher. I really love that all weekend we deal with healing and, just really tapping into these things. I've been getting a lot of great feedback from the viewers. So I really, really appreciate you guys, coming through and supporting us and getting this healing, you know what I'm saying? Both today and on tomorrow. We got spirit all through here, Taquita, you do your tarot thing. Misha does the Reiki thing, you know what I'm saying? So we just some sisters out here trying to, spread this healing. So make sure you tap in on Sunday nights at 9 p.m. And I think that's it. Yeah, we're gonna let y'all go on and enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday. We've been on here about an hour and a half. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. But we love, love, love y'all. Appreciate y'all's time and energy, and always, always be inspired. Keep healing, y'all. All right. Peace.
Bye.